All right, we are here with JP Rowan, and this is the Longboard Larry Show, episode 4. And I guess we could just start out with kind of where we're at. Let's start with that. Because each episode I'm somewhere else. I'm at somebody else's either shop or home, or so. We'll start with that.
Yeah. So we are in Portland, Oregon, first and foremost, which is where I've reigned from for 20 years now. And we are in the basement of my home. I am fortunate enough to actually own a home. Not something that would have been possible back in the skateboarding days.
Too true.
And this is a bit of like a nice little homage to my space that I keep for kind of the treasures of the past. Actually, kind of oddly enough, is that I've done a lot of purging in my life, different times where I've gotten rid of all the things. So it's like I don't hold on to as much. At one point I had I could have probably filled this whole basement full of skateboards and stuff that
my wife would probably wish that I would purge. I still have a lot of stuff, but it's all that. Yeah,
it's good. It's good. I'm selective about the sentimental things.
I have a space like it's in the attic and it's in a shop and it's not in the house. But, so we're here in JP's basement, which is a cool basement, cool place in part of Portland. I was just say, cool part of Portland. It happens to be the end of December, and we have sunshine.
Yes, I don't even know what's going on right now.
For the people that don't know about Oregon, we don't typically have sunshine this time of year, so it's pretty nice out.
Yeah, it's actually, you can see it reflecting on the side right now.
Well, let's start with kind of where you started, because we'll get into where we met, which was new to me.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
That's a good story. So starting as in my skateboarding.
Yeah, where you started skateboarding.
Yeah.
Who got you into it and why?
Man, I'll have to kind of jump around a little, but I'll say that my start is kind of like a traditional 90s street skater. I think I was 14 or 15 when I got enough money scrounged up together to get my first skateboard. And I lived in Virginia Beach then, so I was in a surf town. Okay, and so I went to this local surf shop for it, and my first board was one of the Shorty's blank skateboards. So you could get it for 25 or $35 rather than the 45 for a printed version.
Okay. Just like a shop board.
Yeah, shop board, just the colored laminate on the bottom, no graphic. Went around and just cruised my neighborhood, that type of thing. And then I think the next board after that would have been ordered from a CCS catalog.
CCS, okay.
And it was a Chad Muska Ghetto Thugsta deck. So that was my first graphic deck. But
nice.
I think I bring up that, based on other things that actually a lot I'll probably reference back to Skip's interview, because I feel like there's so much I can relate to there. But I bring it up because I feel like at that point in my life, it's I enjoyed skateboarding, and when I was young, before I got into, I'd say my college years, which will transform into the longboarding part of my life. But I always felt as a kid intimidated by other skateboarders. It wasn't always, it was I love doing it, but if I couldn't kickflip, if I couldn't hit that box ledge or whatever it was, it felt like kids were gonna make fun of me and give me a hard time, and it wasn't that super abrasive.
Because it's you want to be able to do that, but it takes
you gotta get there,
right? You gotta get there, but you're always how they're gonna razz me because I can't ollie or whatever.
Yeah, I definitely was not the coolest kid out there, so it added to those. But then, so talk about people, then it's the first person who sticks out in my brain is going to be Nino Almazan. Which I don't know if you've ever crossed paths with him.
I haven't.
So he's DC, well, he's Baltimore area nowadays, grew up in Arlington, and so it's my early college years. And this is going to be basically the transformation for me from a solo. I'd learned I was decent at ollieing. I had some flip tricks, but like not super good, never super consistent. And then I met this guy Nino, and he's Filipino guy, hair, super long hair, and he was just obsessed with gravity skateboards at the time.
Okay.
All right. And he was all about just surf style and just cruisy,
smooth.
Yeah. We go into a school parking lot or a tennis court or something, and you do the hand down Bertlemann slides.
Yeah, okay. Right.
That type of thing.
Dogtown stuff.
Yeah, the very Dogtown, and it was like just as that. Right around the time when Stacy Peralta's Dogtown and the Z-Boys came out.
Okay.
I think it was just before that, but Gravity was already pushing that rebirth of that style.
Okay.
I remember they had Larry Bertlemann on their team at that point in time, and for anyone, this crowd probably be very familiar with Sergio Yuppie, Yuppie Yuppie.
Yeah, it's just Sergio.
Sergio.
Well, when you say Sergio, you're like, oh yeah, he's like spinning all the way down the road.
Yeah. So like. Basically, I remember. I'm going to combine a whole bunch of like what changed it all for me, and it was like it was for Nino's birthday. He's like, I want to take you to the skate park Lansdowne in Baltimore, Maryland. It is the second oldest skate park still standing. So the oldest one was Kona, is still Kona, and Lansdowne is the second oldest still standing skate park. And he's like, I want to take you here for my birthday. And he got myself, this, I think his name was Paul, like it was like my roommate, punker skater, and these two girls to come out with us. We all road tripped up there. And I think we stayed a night at his mom's place up in Arlington on our way up to Baltimore, and we watched Gravity Flow.
Okay.
And Gravity Flow was like, whoa, like blew my mind. It had it had the introduction of Sergio Yuppie. Okay. And just is crazy spinning down the hill. And it had Brad Edwards doing, riding park in his big double kickboard, and he'd do cross steps on his deck while doing a 50-50 grind in a bowl. And you're like, what is this? And so it's just like really inspiring style skating. And then that same trip, so I get that, and I get this like invigoration, like something had exploded and something new was in my brain. And then we get to Lansdowne, and it's a snake run style skate park, like legit old school, and it starts with a funnel like this tight. It's like at the top of it, so it takes a lot of tries to start learning how to even like pump it. And then it opens up into a big corner, and it snakes back and has like a kind of streety area to it, but it's all like mogul-y and flowy. Yeah, super flowy like that, and just so intimidating, but so much fun. And just like I think it was the combination of just that style of riding, and then like all these different, like after the first time doing it, so like mind's blown, I'm opened up to a new world, and all I want to do is go up to Lansdowne with them every chance we can. So
how far away is that?
That is probably, let's see, we're probably 2.5 to DC, another 1.5 to Baltimore or something like that. It's a good road trip.
It's a good road trip.
Yeah. So I usually involved a stop in DC just to get up there. And so we were going up there all the time, as much as we could. And the scene there was just a bunch of older skateboarders who are getting back into it.
Okay.
And so that's where, for me, skateboarding transitioned from a thing where it's like I always felt like an outsider and not a part of it, to like you show up
You're
and
the young guy and you got all these old guys that
like, come in, heck yeah, you want to ride this park with me? Oh, you got some cool skateboards, check out my cool skateboards, and you're just you line the quiver up on the side of the edge of the park, and everyone's pulling random boards, and to me that was like, oh, this is actually one of the first times in my life I have like a sense of real community.
Okay.
And so that's that, and I think all of that really just like that's what captivated me, and then that's what led me eventually to Portland, for the fact that so I was in 1920, probably 20, when I decided to save up and move to Portland.
Okay.
Because of Burnside Skate Park, obviously the best, and that there was a budding longboard scene.
Yeah, okay.
And as Skip called out, that's Robin McGurk. That was the center of Portland skateboarding at that point. Yeah. He was the guy making the Wednesday sessions happen.
He was.
We do ambulance runs. Billy had gotten a old ambulance, so we'd all rally inside of that and do Stark and Belmont. It was such a great landing here, but it was also kind of, I was like even a little bit of an outsider in the Portland longboarding scene because I liked park more than I actually liked downhill. I wanted to be the big board. I wanted to get on gravity. I wanted to be, so I was out riding Burnside every single day at that point. And then that would be like the next biggest skate buddy I had was actually Billy Bones.
I was like, if you were going to meet anybody skating that kind of crossed into the longboard skating, it was Billy.
Yeah, exactly. And so he and I both landed in Portland similar time. And it was like my first year here, his first year-ish in Portland. We lived at Burnside every day. And so that was, kind of came out to Portland with the mindset that I wanted to be a part of the industry. I mentioned to you earlier, but I'd read a bunch about it. I actually did my first English course in college. I did a thesis on the history of skateboarding. I don't know if you call that a thesis, but a long form paper.
Which is still it's cool.
Yeah. So and I think just to kind of captivate that moment of that, so getting super obsessed in college and all the rest, and I'm a multiple college dropout. But because I always wanted to skateboard more than I had to work and I had to skateboard, and if I fit it in, I'd do my studies. But I did actually get that paper done because I loved it, and it taught me that one of those things is if you got in the industry, you could always come back to it. It seemed like people would disappear for a decade or two and then just come back. It was just once you're a part of it, once you've been a part of the scene, that scene just keeps wanting to come back. But also that skateboarding itself would go through these just 10-year cycles of massive boom, the urethane wheel, boom, right. Cadillac wheels, and everyone's out surfing in Stocktown and the Z-Boys, and then it tanks. And then it's Back to the Future. It's the next big, at least, according to Stacey Peralta, who I'll just, quote for all of the great skateboarding
Right. You're because you get it in a movie, and it's everybody wants to get out and do that again. It fits.
Yeah. It surges, and so then there comes the surge, the wave that that we got to ride of the surge of the modern longboard scene. Yeah.
Now that's I mean that's really that surge is they kind of started hitting the scene at something different. And it was cool. It was you get that surfy style and that crossover from surfing into skating, and a bigger board that's a little smoother and bigger, softer wheels and all that stuff. Yeah.
And I guess when I came out here, it was there were some established brands, there were some things going on. Longboard Larry had built quite a scene at that point, or quite a following. Yes.
Yeah, it was at least up in this area, it was me and Robin and Scott. And we were putting on events, and along with Steve up in Seattle, we were all putting on events and getting people together, and because it was fun.
Yeah.
I'm it wasn't a mental, okay, we got to do this because it's going to build our brand. It was let's do this because we can all get together and we can all skate and it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it helped build the brand too, but that really wasn't the thought behind it. It was okay, we've worked all day, let's go skate.
Yeah.
So what did your parents think though?
Wow. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, multiple college dropout. I mean, my parents didn't pay for my school, so I at least can't let them guilt me for that part of it. But yeah, my mom was terrified I would never amount to anything in life. She says it's so funny because once I finally got out of skateboarding and got a big boy job, she's like, I'm so proud of you, but also I'm so proud that you did your skateboarding thing. And I'm just like, you gave me so much crap the whole time.
That's hilarious. So, there was a national high school journalist thing that happened up in Portland. Where they had all these journalist students from high schools all come in, and they had to do all these writing assignments and stuff. And they'd contacted me to come up and kind of give my spiel of my story of how I started and all that kind of stuff. And I did this spiel, and then afterwards you do a Q&A. And someone asked me, when are you going to get a real job?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what? Didn't you listen? I built a brand.
It's funny though, because it's like it is silly. I feel like I got to spend my entire 20s just continuing to be a big kid, but in the long run, I learned a lot of lessons that people who go to school and then get a big boy job, big kid job right out the bat, just never experience, and understanding I was a horrible business person, by the way. Just like all of us,
right.
Yeah.
We didn't start it to be business people. We started because it was fun, and then it kind of ended up where things go.
As
things get bigger, you have to learn that stuff.
Exactly, and that was the hard part. Is that I kind of came out of it with just I get what it takes to make a real business, and that's not really what I tried to do. And I never really succeeded because I didn't try that hard. But what I did try to do was build community and get people together. Right. And again, going back to the Lansdowne comment, it's that to me, that's what changed. That was one of the biggest influences in my life ever of this real community feeling and wanting to reproduce that elsewhere. So that's what motivated me above and everything else. And the rest was just a numbers balancing game of how can I shift this money, how can I keep the finances rolling long enough until it didn't roll forward anymore.
There's always an end, but it's you look back to what you had done. You don't see it while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You have to look back and okay, this is the things I learned, and this is how I got through these problems and challenges, and
yeah, you don't realize how much you're learning in the process.
No, you don't.
It's not just all fun and games.
We all know that failure is how you learn. In skating,
we excel at failure.
Right. We fall, we get hurt, but you get back up and you keep doing it. You're like, okay, well, I don't want to do that again, and keep going. So as far as go back to your parents a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
When you started skating, what was their thought? Did you do anything with other sports before skating?
Oh, well, yeah. So, I mean, as I said, I grew up in a beach town. So I actually grew up in the ocean. I spent my childhood, my mom's a beach bum. So she loves just being, and still to this day in her, 70s is just spending as many days as you possibly can just hanging out on the beach. That's her life. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. I got, there are some things my mom did teach me well. And making sure you make the best of your life is one of those things, among many others. My mom's a wonderful lady. Okay. But yeah, my youth was spent at the beach, and so I mainly bodyboarded a whole bunch, but I also surfed it, later in my life as well. But yeah, I would spend literally 8 to 12 hours a day just in the ocean throughout the summer. And in Virginia Beach, the waves are nothing to brag about. Every season you're figuring out where the sandbar is.
Okay, it's moving.
Yeah, there's 85 blocks of the main beachfront that and it's it'll be a couple little spots. There'll be the pier that will cause a little bit of a break, and the jetty, Rudy Inlet is usually the Rudy Inlet Croton Beach. Croton Beach was actually the good break, but it's that's the scary kids too. Now. Oh. Yeah, there's kids who really knew what they were doing. So, but yeah, it was, I definitely, and I did other teen sports and whatnot as a kid, but as soon as I got into early high school or pre-high school, middle school type age, I got out of the teen sports as much and just loved doing my surfing and.
Okay, surfing and then skating came in.
Yeah.
So, I've never been to the beaches in that area. What's the water temperature like?
Oh my God, board shorts. Board shorts really? All day, every day. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It made it, I mean, I did, when I moved out to Oregon, get a few years out on the coast surfing out there. And the waves are massive, and it took a lot to learn how to just drop in on everything.
And you got to be in this giant wave.
Yes!
It's like a 5 millimeter. Yeah,
and I couldn't afford a good one, so it's tearing apart my skin and just but man, I love surfing. I will always love surfing, but the difference of just being able to wear boardies and hang out in the water all day long is
that'd be great,
amazing. Yeah, so that's where most of my youth went.
Perfect. That's great. So I guess let's go into where we met.
Yeah,
we didn't know that we met. Well, I didn't know that we had met, but we.
Yeah,
at least we're in the same area.
Yeah. In a very odd, random way that this happened. And I think maybe one other time I did, bring this up around you, but, it's just one of those fleeting, random way. Randomly. So while I was in Richmond, Virginia, doing the longboarding thing, my buddy Nino, wanting to build a scene, I actually started hosting a weekly longboard or skateboard club.
This was in college?
In college, okay. Yeah, Virginia Commonwealth University. So we actually had a decent showing. I get up to a dozen people coming out with us, and we'd go and break into parking garages and bomb those.
Not a lot of hills in Virginia.
No, they were. I mean, there are some at least in Richmond. You can get out westward and you get out into the mountains, the Appalachians. So there's real hills. Okay. But in Richmond, Virginia Beach, nothing. Richmond, a little bit of rolling stuff, but most of it was really scary, steep, 4-lane, car heavy roads. Or we had what is it called? Hollywood Cemetery. Odd name, but it's a Confederate cemetery. It's got Stonewall Jackson and all sorts of these great Confederate great. I say great, but
right names that everybody's heard.
Yeah.
I'm imagining cool paths.
Yeah, it was the roads were just like a spider web through hills, and so we were sliding and crazy. Oh, we would get kicked out of that place all the time. And there was a great. I'm sorry, I'm so many divergences.
Yeah,
I'll get back to
the main story. That's what this is all about, right? And then one thing sparks another story that you remember. Yeah.
Hollywood, I spent so much time there, and I remember while I was in Richmond, there was a great hurricane and flood that occurred. And it actually there's so much history there, but the wall of surrounding Hollywood Cemetery fully caved into it. So they started making it harder and harder for us to break in, and then that happened. It's just it's game on. You guys got a year or two before you figure this one out. It's an old colonial brick and just massive wall that just fully collapsed in.
Your entrance.
Yes. Free reign. So we were learning downhill, inspired by flow, and trying to get kids, other people involved and whatnot. And there was a girl that came out to this. I'm not gonna remember her name, curly brown hair, but she was obsessed with whoisadamcolton.com. It took me a little bit to even understand that was a website, Websites are still kind of new back then too.
Yeah, right.
So someone had a .com that is also a weird who had a good, like...
Right.
And so she was super into that. And if you've seen or heard the earlier podcast of like Adam Cohen's adventure, like he skated across America, and this was like right about when that was going to start that she started bringing this up. And so I guess basically somehow I knew of when his arrival party was, like when he was supposed to have the party at the in the neighborhood and so I ended up wherever that was in Northern Virginia, I think. Ended up there, and like not that I knew
at his parents' house.
Yes.
End of the street. Yeah.
Yes, just at the end of the street. And as far as I understand, you were there too.
I was there. Yeah.
And that's going to be a couple years probably prior to us like officially crossing paths.
Right. Because then how long after that before then you moved to Portland?
So probably only a year and a half-ish at most from then to when I moved to Portland.
Okay.
And then I landed in Portland, took some time to get like things up and running.
Right. Did you come out here with any idea? It was just like, I'm going to Portland. You didn't have a job or anything. It was just
no. And I mean, this is coming from like minimum wage living. I've worked construction at the time, and I'd worked in ski and bike shops.
Okay.
And so I had decent experience on that, and I thought, okay, it's
bike shops, Portland.
Yeah. I went 3 months or so without being able to find a job, and like this is a consistent story for JP up until my 30s was never had $1,000 in a bank account, but probably only had like a couple hundred, could barely survive. Had my partner's mom helping us out a bit just to get our feet on the ground. But yeah, scary time. Ended up at a Subway, working at a Subway for my first little bit. And it was, some of it was just dumb timing. I showed up in very beginning of January. My experience is the snow sports industry, but like the hiring phase for that is like
right. You missed it.
Yeah, that's done. So like, good luck there. Everyone's like, no, we're going to be laying people off in a month. Like this is not the right time for that. Not peak for bike season either. And so I had to bite the bullet. Had to work at a Subway for a little while. But I kept putting applications out there, and eventually the Mountain Shop hired me. And
I guess for everybody,
But
what's Mountain Shop?
So Mountain Shop it was actually really cool because it is, and you might not know this detail, but like it was the first mountaineering shop in Portland.
Oh, okay.
It was established in like the 40s or 50s.
Dang.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Actually, it had some real old school.
I knew they'd been around for a long time, but I didn't realize. I always associated them with not mountaineering, but more the skiing and snowboarding and those kind of. Okay, so that's cool.
And it wasn't. There's like a weird side blurb to my life where like immediately out of high school I actually moved out to Tahoe for a little while, so that's where I first got into snow sport industry.
Okay. So
I worked at a backcountry shop, even though like telemark skiing before that was even big. It was like a very early shop for that. So having that experience worked really well for getting myself into the Mountain Shop.
Okay.
But I remember the day that I waited through my interviews, and Bill, who hired me in, we're like walking down the staircase from it, and I'm like, I want to sell longboards here. Not a consideration for them at all. They did nothing.
No, they didn't do skate stuff. It was,
They might, no.
I don't think they dabbled even in skate. It was,
I was thinking like maybe they had a Sector 9 or 2. Maybe. But that might have just been me when I forced it in. But but like I said, like I came to Portland with this mindset. Like I wanted to be a part of the skate industry.
Okay, yeah.
So I laid my stake in the ground.
You got to make it happen, right?
So they hire me in, and I convinced them after the first winter season I worked for them for the summertime to let me pull in skateboards.
Okay.
And so that would have been at that point in time I would have purchased. I think I went to you and Scott and Robin. as like right out the bat. Like, we're gonna get some of your guys' boards in, get trucks and stuff, and it was just called the boardroom. The
boardroom, right? Yeah.
TBR. And that was also the point in time where I also started like the first PDX downhill forum.
Okay.
So that was the beginning of the flywheel.
I didn't even realize that you started that forum.
Okay, yeah.
PDX downhill. Okay, that's cool.
So I mean, at the time, and again, credit due to Robin, like he already had a forum, so I'm just like kind of competing with it, but like at the same time, it was like an East Side longboarding forum.
Yeah.
You know, it was brand specific.
Right.
And so I don't know that justifies us needing a different forum, but I wanted. But I also I love dabbling in technology and all the rest of that, and so I really wanted to try. And so that was the time. It was like at the time it was, I think, Billy, Danimal, and myself that were like, we're gonna start this PDX downhill thing.
Okay.
And so
what year roughly was that? You remember?
Oh my God, got to be like 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right. Sounds rightish.
Sounds rightish in my mind. I'm trying to think of like everything kind of blurs together. Like okay, have it in the early 5 to 7. That's when things were really starting to pick up.
Yeah. So that's when I think I became more visible to the rest of the existing longboard scene around here, other than being one of the regulars at Wednesday Tabor sessions and all the stuff that Robin hosted. But I wanted to drive, again, like I wanted to be a community builder. I wanted to be a part of the industry. So I just when I did, I just dug in. And I let my other side passion of loving playing with technology be a part of that. And actually, I look back on it. Because long story short, I work in the tech industry nowadays. But it was funny how I realized, through all the jobs that I had leading up to getting into the tech industry, how much I always wanted to help with a technology transformation in these different retail businesses and stuff. So it was always this weird thing that I just did and didn't think of that as the real job. I thought that is a means to accomplish something else.
Something else. Okay. Yeah. Right.
So I don't know. I don't want to keep just ranting on it.
No. So you would, I guess, took the mountain shop and made a separate section in their store.
Yeah.
That was for boards, skating. Was it everything, or was it primarily focused on longboarding, or was it?
At that point in time, I mean, very limited inventory. I probably had like $10,000 worth of supply in there. Not even, actually, probably less than that. Just a few grand. So it was very longboard specific.
Okay. So I remember it as when you first started, more longboard specific, more downhill kind of.
Yeah.
Was the lean. I
guess.
And
part of the driver there too, and again, I'm going to say that call myself out for part of what I felt like what was needed at the time was a place that for us, when we wanted to go up to Maryhill for the weekend, a place that we could go and actually grab the gear we needed before we went up there.
Oh, yeah.
And at the time, the only other shop that sold that stuff was Daddy's
Board Shop.
And they were open 2 days a week for 3 to 4 hours a day in the middle of the workday.
Yeah, right.
So it's if you were a child and your mom or someone, your parent could go and
get stuff, but if it was a weekend or an evening. Yeah.
So we were just hosts all the time whenever we wanted to go out to events, or especially slalom races. You need fresh wheels and it was intended to be catered to that clientele, people who actually needed gear to core, as I like to call it,
right.
Core longboarding,
the stuff you need that you don't think about till 15 minutes before you leave.
Because we're a bunch of cats anyway, so. not really on top of our planning. Yeah.
You just grab your stuff and go. Someone calls you and you're like, hey, we're going. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, half the time it would be like someone hit me up and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna run and open up the shop real quick and let you go buy some stuff. Yeah, we weren't really organized, but we skated a lot.
That was the means to the end, right?
Yeah.
Like, we can do this so that we can go do that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it went from. So you were promoting event or get more gatherings, or were they events?
Yes.
Were we into
at that point in time?
Yeah, it was
that definitely is the outlaw period.
Yeah.
For Portland, as also Skip touched
like,
about.
Yeah, it's like everybody get together. Let's go skate this area, because at that point you couldn't skate. I mean, they were trying to shut you down no matter what you did.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get permits to do anything.
Yeah, that was.
And nobody had the money to do a permit anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's usually cost prohibitive.
Yeah, it was.
And it also took planning and organization.
Oh, right. Yeah,
You
you
know,
have to think ahead. At least a couple weeks or something.
Yeah, just being able to like coordinate enough people to go to a location to do shuttle runs was a feat at that point. So
yeah, okay.
But yeah, so at that point in time, there were a number of different kind of outlaws happening all over the place. Everyone throwing something together. There was like Holy Schmidt did one. Do you remember that? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard. Yeah, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
He did one up at Rocky Butte one time, and like. Was just not like, it was so funny because we had a tight scene of people who skated all the time. This guy just randomly was printing or pressing 3D like deep concaved carbon fiber boards just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then was like, oh yeah, I want to host an outlaw. It's like, oh well, we can help make that happen.
Yeah.
We can make people show up. Like, actually, it was starting to get more pumping at that point for sure. And like, yeah, when we did Outlaws, you'd start seeing 20, 30, 40 people show up.
Right.
And then we did the Larch Mountain Race. And do you remember how that one went?
I remember it was. I don't remember much. I just remember that it was huge.
It was decent sized.
It was. I mean, for the time being. Well, I mean, typically on Outlaws, we were getting 20, 30 people, maybe.
Yeah, and I think it was on the top side of that.
Yeah.
But it was this amazing road, went through a neighborhood, and we had, we had gotten decent at that point. We had corner spotters everywhere. We would, talk to the neighbors and whatnot. We were, doing everything we could to like try and make a safe environment for it. But there was one neighbor who was just absolutely, not having it. And so we got down to our final session. And there's a long straightaway, left-hand corner, just like, it's like flat and, left-hand corner, long straightaway. And then it would like drop down in like a little dead-end street out to finish off the run. And Judy Edmondson is working the corner at the end of that flat.
So Judy's in on this, and
and so she's she was always helping us from the beginning. We'll get back to Judy.
We'll go back to Judy.
We'll definitely get back to Judy.
Yeah.
So much to say there, but she's hanging out on that corner. I'm radio not far off. I forget where I am on the course. I think I'm further up the hill at that point. And we run, it's either finals or semifinals. And Chip Wood is in the lead. And Chip Wood is just like, he wants to win. He wants to win. And he's, full tuck in, bombing down that straightaway. And we have the issue with the neighbor. And it's a pickup truck a little bit past that turn. And like people try to stop him from coming out into the road. And it's coming back to you.
It's coming back, yeah.
So we can't get him to stop, and so radio up to Judy, and Judy's like, no, stop, doing everything she can. And I think Chip is just like not even looking up at this point. He's like probably staring at his toes and counting the seconds to the corner. Like, like he's going to frickin' win. So he just rails into that corner, and I don't know exactly where it happened, but head first collision into the car, like top speed, and I get down there and he's like half underneath a car on the side of the road, like just passed out. Like like it had been, he was out for a good bit.
Dang.
And so yeah, ambulance shows up, like he has to get escorted away and whatnot, and that kind of was like the tail end of our Outlaws.
That's too much publicity comes in and then.
Yeah. There was a lot of attention all of a sudden into what we were doing.
So was that Germantown Road? Was that after Germantown Road? After there wasn't really an event, but that was a lot of people skate.
Yeah, we would just skate that regularly. We always
then it kind of
joked about trying to do
shut down there too, because.
Yeah, I think we just I think we became a known entity. Just in general, it started to become more aware, and so things got a little bit more cracked down on.
Yeah.
But it was a great timing that like the industry was really starting to take off at this point.
Right.
Like the bigger events were occurring. I think at that point, Time Ship had taken over the Maryhill events. Okay. Is that how that works? Wait, no. Joe
Lem start. Well, it was.
That's right.
Like,
there was Volcanic Promotions is what.
There was another one before Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was kind of. I don't even remember. It was like the Northwest Underground or something.
Okay,
I know Robin was part of it. It was like the Maryhill Rats guys were doing stuff there before.
Way before it was called Maryhill Rats too.
Yeah. Way before.
Yeah, because Skip was calling out like there was the rainiest day of the year. Like there were like gatherings that were less official than there were actual official. So it's like it was transitioning from Time Ship to John Osborne.
Yeah.
For Volcanic Promotions.
Volcanic Promotions, yeah. So Joe did I think he did a couple years, 2 or 3 years before Volcanic came in, and then it became the Festival of Speed.
Yeah, Festival of Speed. That's and that was like the only main like big one happening, but like other things started to happen, and I guess this is the lead in to the shirt you're wearing there.
Right. And again, I might have told you on the phone. This is out of all the skate shirts that I have and have had, and I don't know what it is. This has always been my favorite shirt.
Nice.
And it's like the one shirt that I didn't wear to work because I knew if I did, I'd get glue or paint or something on it. All the other shirts ended up with stuff on them, crap on them, and this one I break it out every once in a while. It's getting pretty thin, but it's like, and it's the first one, right? Because the second one, it was still cool, but it wasn't as cool as the first one.
No, I think that's actually. I think you're 2 years in.
I think
this is
the coffin corner.
2008. It's somewhere in here. It says this.
Okay.
Not the right time to check.
Yeah.
But
right. It was. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways.
But so that logo is and that graphic is Eric Hovey's work, and I loved his choice of font. He did. I don't know if that's just it being worn down or if that actually was a distorted effect.
No, it was a distorted effect.
Okay, yeah. I thought so. Yeah. Because wait, I can answer your question right here. Yeah. This is number one. 2009, so 2. Okay,
this
that's
is
the
2.
second.
Okay.
It was 2008, I think mentions in there is when we first started going out and talking with them or something.
Okay.
2000. So it's just, because you can see how it transitions the graphic.
Yeah.
It's a shame the shirt didn't have the full color spectrum because I see that. I see the teal little, but just looking at it hadn't even dawned on me to look over here. That was a really good poster, honestly. I thought Eric Hovey was graphic designer by trade, common thing in the Portland area.
Right. Yeah. And he did an awesome Eric was great. He still is great. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but so I guess before we get too far ahead, when did Rip City
No, yeah.
Because that's Rip City was before Cathlamet.
That's a really good, like, I feel like yes, but barely.
Okay.
Like, I mean, so there is a Rip City logo on it.
Yeah.
And my recollection was Rip City was like 2009, maybe 2008.
Okay.
But maybe it was in like April of 2009 and Cathlamet was like August of 2009. Like,
okay.
it was that quick that stuff like really just started to happen.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Things were ramping fast.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the flywheel, the wave was building. Like, my specific flywheel was, as I said, like, it was like Mountain Shop landed there, started selling boards, started the forum. It's like that started happening. And then, I guess, should I diverge to like how Rip City came to be from a board shop, a department?
That's a huge piece.
Because it was like, I've been at the Mountain Shop for like 2.5 years. It was a couple seasons.
Because really, at the time, we only had Daddy's, and then the board shop and the Cal Skates, but they weren't really longboard. It was just they were full on skate.
Yeah, they had their Sector 9s in there and whatnot, but I think at that point in time that would have been it. Maybe US Outdoor Store had some longboards too.
I forgot about that. Yeah, US Outdoor Store. They were kind of like the second. They had the
same thing. It's going to be the pre-builts.
Yeah.
That's what most stores would have been that day, and that was actually another part again with like the, really trying to build a shop for the guys who were out doing it was we sold by part. Like, that was
right. It's like instead of like for the hot rod guys, they're going to go to the speed shops and they're going to go to the places they're going to care. They're not going to go to the O'Reillys or whatever.
Yeah. You got to get the specific. Like, I sold individual bushings for years. Well, which is crazy. That's not a way to make money.
No.
Again, like, not a smart business person. But yeah, so
but that's what people wanted, so that's what you do.
Yeah. So from the boardroom to Rip City I was a few years in. So yeah, like, hit it first summer, I was able to get a board shop in there. And then by my second season, I think I was like managing, I would like worked in their rentals and repair to begin, then started running their snowboard purchasing. And so I was learning more of the sports industry there.
Okay.
Kind of doing well with the company, so they liked me. And then I did actually end up running their repair and rental shop. So I was like running multiple departments and switching, through seasons. So I'd be like, and in the Mountain Shop, it's like 4 stories. And like repair and rentals is the bottom floor, and my skateboard's on the bottom. And so someone asks a longboard question, it's only like once or twice a week, and I'd be like running up to the
top 4th floor to answer questions.
But yeah, so basically it got long enough in that I was like, okay, I really want to build a skate shop, and like I knew this is what I wanted to do, but I didn't see the path from where I was to where I wanted to be. Okay. And so I actually went to my boss and said, next summer, I'm not going to continue any longer. I'm going to go back into construction, save up money, and save up money so I can open up my own shop. And I had started talking around to the brands and whatnot. I was actually considering just trying to do an online shop out of my garage, keep overhead low. It was going to be called Revolution Board Shop.
Oh, yeah, Revolution. Yeah.
So many of those stickers still floating around, which is hilarious for the thing that never happened. Casey's got a stack like this tall still. You got to start with a sticker.
Yeah, right. You do, because everybody loves stickers.
Yeah. It's just how we work. So that was what I had told my boss that, and was like mentally preparing, starting to look for construction jobs. And I think another person, Garrett, had mentioned wanting to do a like reuse or resell outdoor store, and was trying to pitch to the owner to set that up for him. And I think the owner wanted to hedge his bet at the moment. He was like, well, you want to open up and you're already selling this stuff. And this guy, like, if I get 2 of you together, then you can probably work the shop without much extra help.
Oh, gotcha.
And so he was like, what if I paid, like, he kind of just set me aside one day and was like, what would it cost to start a shop? And like, whoa, what a question to be asked. Like,
is one of those things that had you even really processed, like, what would it cost? Because you're thinking about it, but it's like, what is it going to cost me to start a shop?
Yeah,
what
yeah.
kind of inventory? I mean.
Yeah, exactly. It started to try and crunch some numbers, and they were, JP, who had never had $1,000 in a bank account, they were many times beyond 1,000.
Right,
Just like, how on earth am I going to do this? Yeah. So when it was like, well, how much inventory would you need? And so I threw out 30,000 to start, and he got behind it. And, it's like, I got my nice, I think it was $12 or $14 an hour salary. That was the same salary I exited on too. Nothing changed over the years.
Nothing changed. Oh, dude.
But he paid for the inventory, and I still made what I would make. So I made less because I wasn't getting overtime any longer.
Yeah. Now you're working all these extra hours.
But it was it. I still just remember just like coming home and being like, oh my God, someone's going to fund a skate shop.
Yeah.
So Rip City started as like a little section in another area. There was a whole bunch of used retail stuff. And then that eventually that business just kind of petered out. And I eventually got my own storefront. We had the Narble. I got to build the ramp.
Yeah.
That was, so many good stories about that, but that was a big part. At that point now, I think was, you're talking about longboarding to start, just being longboarding. But at that point, it was very much for me, like, yes, I came here to represent the local scene and help the downhill skateboarding, but like, I love park skateboarding. Like,
okay.
I love park skateboarding more than any, like, I love downhill. I love downhill too, but like, I love park skateboarding. I love all skateboarding. And so we opened Rip City with the motto of skate everything.
Skate, okay. Yeah.
So that was like that inventory meant street boards, and we were local first. Again, like, the three meccas. That's when I started getting insect boards in, and trying to think of who the other like really cool. If it wasn't, it was either local or it was a brand that had a story, a relationship, something that I really cared about. And so for street boards, I just didn't touch any sort of mainstream brand. It was Bacon Skateboards. It was Lifeblood. It was the Killing Floor, and all of them is like these. As I say, these brands like Breakin' existed, but the rest of those didn't. Like Rebel Skates.
Okay.
Yeah, Rebel Skates and Cold War.
Okay. Yeah.
So like all of the I got all of the local builder brands all together into one place, and to me that felt like the most Portland thing I could possibly do. And I feel like that's I feel like that's where Portland, when we got our stake in the ground as things really blew up, we were known for the skate everything scene.
For sure. Right? It was like, it was kind of fell into that Northwest.
Yeah.
From Portland and on into Canada.
Yeah.
Into Vancouver. Yes. And that was where everything was happening.
Yeah. And so it was like, to me, that was the stamp, and like a little bit of an ego around like saying that we were the skate everything shop is like Sector 9 eventually started using the branding skate everything. Thrasher started using it. Like not to say they did it because of me, but like that was like Rip City was doing that 5 years prior to anyone else, like really trying to push that terminology and whatnot. And it meant something very significant to me.
Yeah, because before that, there was like a core skate shop wasn't going to sell longboard.
Like,
stuff.
Yeah, like you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, and so it was like, to go back, we were doing a longboarding gathering at Bush Park in Salem.
Oh yes, those are great.
We just had a bunch of people out there, and we're all longboarding down the Soapbox Derby Hill, and these skaters show up, and they're like, just you guys aren't real skaters because you can't do a kickflip or whatever. And we're like, jump on one of our boards and go down the hill. And you see what the difference is. And, but it took a while where it was like you're either a core skater or you were a longboarder. And before it kind of all blended, and then it became the skate everything. Because it doesn't matter what you're riding. Just go out and ride.
Yeah. That's I think the big part was like, I will use the Lance Mountain quote, which is like, you're not a skateboarder because you started skateboarding. You're a skateboarder because you can't stop skateboarding.
Oh, that's good. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's solid because that's the truth of it. It's like we can't stop. There's something and it's something messed up in our brain that somehow makes this like.
Well, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, because so last October I ruptured my Achilles.
Yeah,
which is horrible in a push race. And after that, people had asked me, how'd you get hurt? And I'm 55. And I tell them, and they're like, well, are you going to stop? I'm like, no, I'm not going to stop. I'm like, this is just a pause until I get healed, and I'm going to be back out skating.
You get that question again of like, when are you going to grow up?
No. Like, why would I stop?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the best part about it is like it keeps us young. Like we're talking, all the age ranges just fluctuate all over the place, and
right. And you don't have to I'm not gonna go bomb some giant hills anymore, but I'm still gonna go out and skate. I'm still gonna have a good time. It just depends on the level.
Yeah.
And I'd have to do a lot of skating to get to that level and be able to go down a big hill again. But.
Yeah. It's as you get older, the consequences, like you don't bounce back like you used to.
No.
But, if you've spent a good chunk of your life doing it, you have fundamentals that allow you to do stuff that no one else could do anyway and still stay safe. And it's and finding that has been great in life, just finding that like threshold of what can I do that still feels like kind of cool and fun and inspiring.
It gives you that, the enjoyment and that adrenaline. You need a little bit of adrenaline.
Yes, yeah.
You need something that's
let's be honest.
Gonna get the heart beating a little bit, but it's just something that's still fun. It's always gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So I don't until I can't walk anymore, I'm not gonna stop. Right? It's like yeah. So okay, Rip City. Keeps going. It's building.
Yeah. So it's like
because that's where everybody was coming.
Yeah.
We had daddies.
Yeah,
but again, limited hours, and your shop was easy.
And they moved. They just like moved into the out towards the airport, into the big warehouse and all the rest of that. So, Rip City was the center of downhill skateboarding in Portland for a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
And it was, so we had, just to stack all the different plates I was spinning at that time. So we've got Rip City happening. I got PDX downhill. Calf Alignment downhill comes into the picture. I'm just gonna spread the portfolio out, and we can pick on whatever we want at this point, because because otherwise we just slowly build up to each thing. We're never gonna get there. It's gonna be too many chasing cats around. So the portfolio of what I actually had when the flywheel was full spinning was the Rip City, the PDX downhill, which PDX downhill had the switchbacks events.
Oh yeah.
Had the Cap Lamin event. We'll get way more into that. Yeah. Give Judy your due credit on that.
100%,
we had the Northwest Skate Coalition, so a nonprofit. Also another good story based off of them trying to crack down on the hills in Arlington Heights. Skip touched on that one. So I was going to city these, not city council meetings, but a special committee on a weekly or every other week basis for a year and a half to try and keep skateboarding legal. And then we built Skate Coalition, and there's so much good random stuff that was happening around that, the Skate QE Safety Huey.
Safety Huey?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yes, yeah. Like, it's a gold mine when your brain remembers that Safety Huey existed. So like Northwest Skate Coalition was kind of like our like keep skateboarding legal activities, and then the other two items that I wanted to introduce into this mix is the skate bus.
Oh yeah. You gotta have the skate bus in there.
So another two. So that's like another year after I think I launched the skate shop. We got the skate bus. So many great stories there. Might actually just have to like reserve that for
its own thing.
Yes. And get Pat and Casey in here with me, and we can just tell the whole history.
Jed did a video that's on the Longboard Larry YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Of the skate bus trip that he took. And I was like, dude, that was if any of the skate bus trips are like that. Yeah,
they're all like this.
Yeah,
I knew that's what they were like. It's like if there are children watching, there's an age restriction on watching anything related to the skate bus.
Yeah, there definitely is. Yeah,
so please don't just Google it.
It's 20-year-old guys on a bus for a week at a time, going
multiple weeks sometimes.
It's as crazy as you could think it would be.
Yeah. And then on top of that was my house was the like Portland skate house.
Oh, okay.
So I was living with the roommates. There was a little bit of transition in roommates through the years, but like if we group it, there was a couple buddies that were like one was like a high school buddy, Casey. I don't know like how to give an intro into that. Casey's like one of my bestest buddies ever. It's just been such a great human being, and he's a Portland local. So he had a bunch of, local friends. So it's like one of his buddies. And, but eventually the house became Carmen and Alicia in one room.
Okay.
That old buddy of Casey, Theo, who, I mean, what an interesting and inspiring character he was. But ended up starting his own street brand, Agora skateboards. Okay. We had Casey Morrow in the basement and myself up in the attic as our home. So between 4 or 5 people, regular residents in this home, a little mini ramp in the shed in the back, like the super tiny, just like Narble, we build ridiculous ramps. We love it. We like to torture ourselves, and everyone complains about it. And that home had the skate bus like parked in the front yard. And when an event happened anywhere in the Pacific Northwest, and everyone, you're flying into Portland, you flew into Portland, and you either first came to my house or you came to my skate shop. And
you got on the bus.
And then you got everything you needed. Everything you needed right. from right there. And so the house would you have a Maryhill event, and there were times when there were 30 plus people sleeping across my floors, my backyard, in the ramp, in the shed, in the skate bus. When I say I had a basement, you could fill this basement with gear. It's when you have that many people rolling through all the time and get free gear and all the rest of it, it piles up everywhere. Yeah.
Let's pause, make sure our camera batteries are good. Because that reminds me, we got to go into gear a little bit, because gear was crazy during that time.
Oh,
So let's check the batteries and let's see where we're at.
I'm going to grab a little water too.
Yeah. I guess we before the break, we ended on gear.
Okay, yes.
One of the things that I remember about gear was there was always new stuff coming out. Wheels.
Something new.
Bushings. And you go to events and you just get sets of wheels and bushings and trucks and whatever's new is coming out. Everybody had access.
Yeah.
To stuff, either if not free, cheap.
Yes. Also not a great way to run a business when but I sponsored everybody, so it's everybody got a discount.
Yeah, right. Because that's what everybody was asking for. Hey, you sponsor me? You ever sponsor me? Can I sponsor so many people?
Yeah. But there were just so many dedicated and talented people that it's like, I wanted them all under and repping Rip City. You know. But yeah, the gear. Oh my God. Gear. Yeah. So if you came to Portland for an event, there's a good chance you're gonna end up at my home, my shop, or even at my event. Like
right. So skate bus. Before we go, we gotta explain what the skate bus was.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, it's hard for me to like be light about it and not just want to get into the details. But we'll give a TLDR on this. That's just the high level.
Where did you get the skate bus?
See, this is where like you could roll into the stories because it's like right. It's kind of mind blowing that basically I scored it for $4,000, and it was like the story behind this to say is that like it was about Ditch Slap, which God I could go on forever about my love for Ditch Slap. Yeah. Reading Concrete ways before I moved out here and being like that's the event I want to go to because again Lansdowne being my park that funnel shape and like wait there's cities built with ditches So the inspiration behind it was wanting to go to Ditch Slap and having flown out there the year prior and it just being like, that's so expensive when there's so many people from Portland who want to get there. Yeah. We could probably rent a van. And then at some point I was like, renting a van's so expensive. I could probably buy one. And so, I managed to like convince like, I don't know, 8 to 10 people to not buy a flight, pay for Ditch Slap, and I would figure out a ride there. And so that's like, and I bought that bus like after I like, it was, that was in like a November, December when I told everybody. And Ditch Slap's in.
And you had no bus yet?
No bus, nothing. Just ambition. Yeah. Obviously I've got, plenty of that around. My life was all skateboarding. So every day, like in a skate, it's just this. I didn't have to check in and out on the schedule. I was always thinking about conniving the next thing I could do.
Okay.
And so so basically convinced 10 people to sign up, 10 or so people to register for the event, but not have a plan for how to get there. That they would rely on me, and I got down to like that was in November, December, convincing all of them. And then got to May or April, whenever the event actually happened, and I purchased that bus 2 weeks prior to us.
I remember like the stories, and because I don't remember who I had other people telling me like, oh yeah, JP's got the bus, and we're all going over there to work on it, and we got to tear everything out of the inside of it, and it's like I'm gonna leave in 2 weeks. I'm like,
yes,
like what? Like. That's crazy. And my first thoughts were always like, does he even know it'll make it? I mean...
oh my God. And see, this is why the stories would just keep rolling. We'll come back to can he actually make it? But yes, we did. So I purchased the bus.
It was a small city buses, right?
Yeah. So it's a 30-foot, so it's a decent size. It's not short bus.
Not short bus, yeah.
And it's not a yellow bus. It's a city style bus. Right. It's got nicer seats in it. More open. Yeah. I mean, I actually salvaged some, but one of the rules was, as I learned, so I was right on the edge of CDL, needing a CDL to drive it. So there's all these lessons I'm learning along the way. And so we had to gut it down to be just, I think it was like...
It's a weight thing.
Actually, CDL 1 is weight, but the other is the number of passengers that it can seat.
Okay.
And so we got it down to 13 seats because it was if you could have 15 people in it or something like that, it's 13 in a driver. So I forget exactly what the number was, but it was exactly one less seat. than what required a CDL.
Perfect.
And the weight of the vehicle was just 1,000 pounds under the CDL. It was just this absolute I don't know how I was so capable of just slipping through the cracks on all the ridiculous stuff I did. And good friends, good people inspire me, motivating me. But yeah, so the skate bus was, it was a vehicle purchase, got it, and we ended up throwing some bunks into it that you could sleep on it, you could store gear on it and skateboards and whatnot. And then that has its own 10-year history of traveling to events. Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a little bit of there was some downtime towards the end and whatnot, but...
So how many miles did it have when you got it?
So the odometer never worked. So I can tell you nothing about the speedometer. Barely ever worked. Because
I imagine the city, when they retire them, they gotta have a lot of miles on them.
Yeah. So the odometer said something like 250,000 on it, but it was a Freightliner engine.
Oh,
so this thing was rated
dependable.
for 500,000 to 1 million miles.
Yeah. Diesel
engine.
Yeah. Okay.
But it cost money to take care of that thing. Like,
diesel
every time
cheap.
it broke down, we were going to the diesel shop, and it's like $1,000 gone immediately.
Yeah.
And yes, the JP who never has $1,000 in his own personal bank account got other companies to pay for that.
Perfect.
Like Longboard Larry.
Right. Sponsors. You gotta sponsor the bus.
Sponsor everything. I would say it at the time too, that what I figured out was how to not pay for all the things that I love doing. And therefore I didn't need a real income. I could live off $12 an hour salary.
Perfect. I mean, you got to make it work, right? And like, how am I gonna make this work? Okay, we'll get sponsors. We'll get other people to help pay for everything, and then you can take off and leave for 2 weeks on a bus and go skate everything.
Yeah. Yes. And so so that portfolio is that was my life then for a good 6 or so years of we got all of those pieces in play, and we just rinse and repeat season after season.
So you had to keep the shop open.
Yeah.
So who ran the shop?
Slave labor. I joke, but I kind of don't. Again, learning how to work through all the cracks. One of the tricks that I did learn is that high school kids can get credit for school by working at jobs, like volunteering work at jobs. So they're getting life experience. And I get free. Thank you, David Rogers. Thank you, Alex Shermans. Thank you, Nikolai. Thank you, Ethan. You all made it possible.
And they loved every minute of it. You know they did. Yeah. Getting a chance to work in a skate shop.
Yeah.
And that was their life. That's what they wanted. And you're like, hey, I got to go for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's not like my life was any much more glorious than that. $12 an hour doesn't go that far.
No.
You're better off getting the free gear that I give.
Than the hourly rate. Yeah.
Oh man, we lived off of Little Caesars $5 pizzas, just 2 blocks away from us, and that's the kids would show. I'd be waiting for him to get off from out of class for the day, and immediately hand them $5 and $10 and go get pizza. Oh, yeah.
Just one thing, right? It's a spider web of all these different memories and things that you did.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, you've opened Pandora's box for me.
Right.
I can't there are things, and it's I'm an avid note taker nowadays in my current life, and I heard Skip make a comment about this too, as far as the wishing had written down more of the things that had happened along the way.
Because as we get further out, it's without these conversations, it's there's a ton of things that I have forgotten.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just they're back there in the back of the brain somewhere that. And it's it needs a little spark to oh yeah. That's
I mean that's the brain works. It's just you use the pattern or it goes away.
Right.
So you gotta do something, and it helps with other people around too, having the being able to help anchor to dates or other things happening as we can remember joint experiences.
Yeah, because dates are years. Yeah, it's when was don't know when that happened.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you bring it all back, and it's like just so many amazing.
You know what that made me think of though is like I can actually remember like if I wanted to find the answer, and this is the thing that like it's changed all of our lives, is like once we all got smartphones and you could start taking photos all the time, and the photos also have location and dates. Yes. Yeah. And it's all of a sudden, it's like the resolution of like what you can see and remember of your past can be found through photos. That's like the best system you possibly could have. And I remember in particular that like the skate bus, we purchased that right as I learned about Instagram.
Okay.
And Instagram was something Skip introduced me to. And at that point in time, like he was on it for his like art geek stuff. Okay. Like nobody knew what it was, but he was like, "Oh no, you gotta check out all this cool art," and he'd get me on it for that. And so like my very first photos on Instagram were us taking off on the skate bus.
The very first trip.
The very first trip.
Oh, okay.
And that buddy Nino, from back in Virginia, he actually flew out. Really? Like that was after all of this, like because like. Again, Nino being my inspiration, I'm like, I kept being like, Nino, come move out to Oregon. I built a scene. I've done all these things. And I never got him out here permanently. But he did, like, when I got the skate bus, he was part of that first crew. I convinced, like, come do your dick slap with me because it was our dream.
That is awesome, though. Right?
Yes.
Like, he comes out for that first trip, and
Yeah.
See, I've never made it just like this. Always in May. It's like it's my birthday.
Okay.
And it's also not that it's just my birthday, but it's like as things are ramping up
for the industry. Yeah, that's when it takes off.
It's like trying to keep that going and be able to get away. My vacations were always to events.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
So it was like I never took a vacation. I think I took one vacation the whole time that I had longboard.
That's such a good point.
It's like it was. We were going to events, and that was fun. That was what we wanted to do, anyways.
Yeah. But the concept of like a modern day vacation, like go somewhere nice to like chill out,
right?
Which I still struggle to do any sort of chilling out, like, but still, like, very different concept. It was just go to the events. That's what you made the free time for.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was very much building life around those opportunities. And skate, part of the skate bus was like I couldn't, even though I was running a skate shop and all the rest, I was actually struggling to get the funds together to go out to events. So my trade-off was buy a bus and I'll drive other people. They'll pay the fuel. Yeah, we never made anything. Like
it just got you there, right?
In pure form of everything I did, it either broke even or lost money.
But you got to the events.
Yes, but I got to do the thing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I got to bring other people with me and have the most amazing memories. And so, yes, like, I think that's as much as, like, I want to touch skate bus on this. Because it's just, like...
It's just going to keep going.
And it's, like, the stories just tie so many people together. And, and honestly, I often can be a really bad, like, memory of, like, the other people that were involved. Casey remembers people, in scenes and environments better. So like, I think it'd be really good to have him and Pat, because that was like, we were the skate bus captains. Pat, had a pretty good tenure for that. And, but then also there's just so many conversations. Yeah. I'd love to, one of the things that like, right as we were breaking, I was saying was like, it's kind of hard doing my stories all by myself because
there's so many people involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's involved.
Yeah, and it's like all of these stories are not my stories. They're like, as much as like I guess going back to the beginning and talking about like the motivation to get a permit and all of this stuff is like, I am a fairly industrious human being. Like, I'm not good at making money, but I'm good at working really hard, actually. Like, and planning and making something actually happen.
Yeah.
And so I think I get a lot of credit because I do the legwork up front. so that I could, do the thing I wanted to do without having the money to do it. That was the game I knew how to figure out. But like none of these things would happen. None of these things would happen or exist if it wasn't because of all these other people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Okay, so where do we go? Back to Rip City and get a little bit of Cathlamet?
Yeah. I feel like, I'm like, there's so many different things to go about with like Rip City, but I think we've touched kind of the major points.
Yeah.
I think I could call out some other like cool people who became a part of it along the way. But...
Yeah, for sure. And any other event, because those weren't the only events.
Yeah, that's true.
There was a lot of events that were going on at the time. A lot of outlaw stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
okay. I think...
Especially in the Portland scene. I mean, there was always something going on the weekend in Portland.
Yeah.
For skating. I mean...
So I think I could wrap, like, the relevant stuff or the interesting stuff around Rip City quickly and have that just pivot into events.
Okay. Yeah, so with that, I mean, you had to learn how to run a business. That's...
Yeah, I've been working in sporting goods retail for a while now, so I at least had that foundation. But I was running the books. I was doing accounting.
Oh, because you have to.
Yeah.
Right? And so you had to learn that. I mean, when I started building lawnmowers, I didn't think I'd ever be like, the thought to run a business wasn't even part of it. It was like, let's just build boards and see what happens. Or
then all of a sudden it's like you got money, and like inventory.
Because there was people. When you started Rip City, you had to have employees, yeah, or no?
So it took a little while before he did, but that actually was one of the things to talk about beyond the the volunteer labor. Right. volunteer labor.
Yeah. You had to run a business. You had to learn how to do everything and it's like I thought that I was that my business was its own thing,
and
then I slowly learned that any small business, they all go through the exact same things.
Yeah,
I mean, to an extent, but it's like managing, purchasing, keeping books, all those things are the same.
Yeah, I think it didn't. I don't think it was as obvious to me until the end. That detail.
Right.
Like we're running accounting, handling inventory. How do I pre-order, keep stuff in stock? As you said, gear was coming out left and right. How do I have the new hot thing that somebody has? How do I run an online business? Because, that helps to get it out there. And oh my God, so we're, recording on a GoPro right now. And another like piece of our history is like, I feel like longboarders were actually some of the first people ever using GoPros. And so having a GoPro in the shop and then the hard lesson of retailing a GoPro online and being excited one holiday season when someone buys 3 of them and it's a fraudulent purchase.
No! Yeah.
And I've got, credit card companies like, yep, that's your problem. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, that's what credit card protections mean. They protect the consumer, not the retailer. And you got nothing to work with. And that's early days where you don't have the easy retail websites that they have nowadays. Square, Square doesn't exist. And...
Yeah, I had a GoPro 1. A GoPro, yeah. It was like, when that came out, I was like, I think it was a couple $100. That was hard to come by for a couple $100. Like, for this little tiny camera, but we took it everywhere.
Yes, they got used so much. They were incredible. They're horrible videos.
Yeah.
Like, until it got to HD, it was just all garbage. But still, you saw things. And, like, the value of a first-person camera back then was just so immense for downhill because, like, you can stand on a corner and see people go by once. That's not, that's not that exciting.
No.
But to be in the video, in the pack, the trees swerving by, seeing how close the wheels are getting to each other as you're like tapping each other through a corner, or the butt jazz and the handoffs and all the rest,
and how close everybody is in those at 40, 50 miles an hour. It's like touching wheels and.
Oh man, it was incredible. It definitely so handling inventory, running online business, and like I went through many different e-commerce sites, and that's kind of how I started to actually learn enough real technology to end up where I ended up. But so doing that, I built the displays in the shop. I had custom built these sweet countertops that like you could they had it's like just 2 bars with a notch in the center, so you could like put the board on top, flip it like with the wheels on it, and it would touch the counter, flip it over, and then you put it sideways and you're putting the wheels. So just like building everything,
just assemble everything,
just to make it get everything. You just start learning how to optimize things more and more. How do I make it so that like I can be behind the counter and get to everything I need to set up something for someone?
And I think like, I don't know, maybe it's the same, but like in that time frame, there wasn't someplace you could go buy this stuff.
Oh no.
And well, we didn't have any money to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So you had to think of like, how can I solve this problem?
Yeah.
And what can I build, and where can I get the stuff, and do I have the stuff here that I can just build something?
And I think that's like where, even though I was never like the skateboard builder myself, but like I felt like akin to the rest of you guys, was like I'd still had the carpentry background, and like so like building cabinets and stuff was fun when you could like pre-design all the cuts you needed to do, like sit there and just sketch
it out, right?
And figure out what all those cuts were going to be and make them, and they actually came together right. That wasn't always the case, but when it did,
it was awesome.
It's amazing.
And he's like, dude, I built that.
So like literally that shop was everything, just hand built, mostly by myself. Like that's just like when I wasn't selling a skateboard, I was building the fixtures and all the rest. And then the Narble was in there, and so I had done some skate park building in the past, some other smaller projects, but that was probably my first big project. It took forever to build, and like it's just so hard to like try and describe, but like it was in the back of our shop. It had there was like a weird kind of loading bay area that we had to account for.
Okay.
So it had a waterfall. So it's wood. It's all wood. It's got that kind of waterfall effect where the level of the base is different in one back corner, and in that back corner, I then decided to bring it to. I don't think I decided. I think Casey was just like, oh, why don't we put oververt there? So we did an oververt pocket in one corner, and then a gap for the doorway, and then a big like banked wall with like some weird jackknife wedge thing in the middle of it. And opposite that was like kinked in corners and different heights.
So but you have to build all this framing and then skin it and make it smooth so that it's skatable.
So learning how to do pockets is a freaking skill. Like
I can only imagine
the compound like curvatures, and it's like the reality is like anyone who ever wants to learn how to do like build pockets is like there is no magic formula. The actual right way to do it is you are cutting wedges and placing them and then scoring them to fit the piece prior. Like there's no like magic number, like none of the pros. It is this process.
You have to just learn it and know it, and it's just gonna be something you figure out.
I was just I loved learning new things. I loved like I think the story tells itself that I just like I loved the challenge, whatever it might be. So
jump in with both feet and go. Right?
But that bowl probably took 6 months to build. The owner was definitely like, or the financer behind the business was definitely like, when are you going to get this thing running? And then he like the beauty of it all is that he's thinking that this is going to be like a moneymaker for us. Again, thank you, David.
Kids are going to come and skate it and not buy anything.
They're going to pay $5 maybe to skate. It's like, if you buy a board, you can come skate for free. Maybe I'll wrangle $5 out of you. But I guess also just kind of going back and keep tying to everything is this like skate everything theme was like, I was a longboard shop, but I wanted to have a skate ramp. And then I had like one of the gnarliest, weird, random indoor ramps. And that is where a lot of the people who started first as longboarders or downhillers first dropped in.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm gonna guess, a number of the kids that worked at your shop. Like I think Jed was first in there, maybe David. I'm like trying to think, but like there's a lot of them that like that was their first place that they ever dropped into, and like people, lawnmowers who traveled and came, and it's like that we again was like that's what was very specific about us was the being the like we're gonna skate everything, and not just like we can skate a little bit, but like no, we built the gnarliest bowl ever, and we actually got good at it. We actually
that's good. Yeah.
It took a while. I got a concussion in there. I wasn't the only one. And that thing was just treacherous in every possible way. There was the day that it finally got torn out, there was like a random hole. Like there's like a one section where the coping came around, another section of coping came around, and right here where they met up, for some reason I just left a hole in the top in the deck.
Why not? Get busy doing
body and parts went in there all the time.
that's you gave it that sketch factor,
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't already crazy, and you had to add to it. Right?
Yeah, and everyone gave me shit. Everyone gave me shit for that bowl. Like that, other than the people who spent their lives, like they just fell in love with it. But everyone's just like, this is the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, but I loved it, and that's. Good inspiration. Like it was like I think Casey really was the one who like kind of penciled something, and we were just like, yeah, we'll build that.
Yeah.
But I think sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just like, we go from. Do we go into Kath Lammett? We gotta get into Kath Lammett a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll leave a lot of that for Judy, which will.
Definitely
phase into Judy.
Yeah, because I have like a larger story arc over it of like kind of the craziness around it, but I think the history behind it and just in general, like Judy's involvement is like this kind of cool thing, like skater mom. So like, I do really want her to be able to tell her story around that as well.
Because she made that happen. I mean,
blood, sweat, and tears made that happen.
We're coming into a time frame where events are getting bigger.
Yes,
but getting a place to do an event is getting harder.
Yes, and that's the like. So
because you can't do the outlaw ones. You have to do legit.
Yeah. So we left off from the Larch and the Chips accident, and like, we need to lay low. We can't pull off these outlaws. In rolls Judy, and I think I just gotten the shop up and running. I think we kind of pieced the timeline together there. And basically the best I can tell the story is that that her fathers lived out on Puget Island in Kath Lammett, Washington, and there was a clinic in town there that was running out of funding and was going to shut down. Okay. And so her desire was to do something as a fundraiser for that. And I think, as far as I understand now, that started as like her son, Addison, wanted to do a push race out there. That's like the classic fundraiser event. Yeah. It's like almost every push race with some form like that.
Yeah, right. It's like you do a push race because as an event, it's pretty easy because you just have to find a distance to go skate. And usually you don't have to have as many spotters. You don't have to have hay bales. You don't have to. It's just, hey, we're going to skate this route, and we come back, and those are.
It made it simple. It was low key. Just. It was easy to pull off, but getting the like actual downhill event, that's a whole nother thing. And so it's I think that probably explains like actually from what you just said there, like how it snowballed to what it did become, because I think what must have happened is that she probably brought that to the town, and then they were like so supportive. She's like, oh, do I have a place that I can get away with an actual like downhill
event? Yeah.
So I think she pulled Billy and Casey and myself out there one day. We all drove out there, and she's like trying to show us the road and like, could you guys actually do a race here? And we're like,
the road is, for anybody that hasn't been to, it's it's steep, and then you have
it's
steep and it's got like that steep section that's got the rough concrete below it.
Yeah,
like blacktop, and
it's like at the sharpest chicane, it's like kind of flattened out, so it just like you come down the steep fast section, and it's a short silly run. Very weird way that you're like crossing what is actually a state highway road. So there's a logistic detail,
right?
And you're crossing that road, and it's kind of comes to flat and then planes back down again. And the speed and the angle you're trying to hit, it's like you're carrying your speed into the part that just wants to wash you right off of it. And so rounding that corner is a hell of a challenge. But so we're looking and we're like, I mean, it looks fast enough. This is kind of silly, but they'll let us do it. Then we should do it.
Yeah. And, for anybody that doesn't know where Cathlama isn't like on your way to anything.
Nothing.
You kind of, it's like Maryhill.
Yeah.
You have to be going there.
Yes, yeah.
Cathlama, you're going to be going to Cathlama. And it wasn't close.
Yeah, and it was a town that was financially not doing well. I think it was an old logging town or something of that
realm.
Realm that just like the industry had died, and it's actually kind of been cool because I've recently, well, I don't know, maybe I can come back to that, but I've recently just finally cleaned up the last of my ramps there. Yeah, take that. But when I went there, the reason I bring that up is because there were so many businesses shut down there, there was this place called the Rat Trap that was at the bottom of the hill that I don't know if you remember, had like a little cartoony rat on the side, and it was like falling into the river.
Okay.
It's up and running again.
Oh, okay.
And it's like they've got the brewery ended up moving down to the waterfront by the marina, and it's like freight container hipster looking stuff. Yeah. The locals do talk some shit about that, but it's a hip little spot. You get to have a beer and stare out onto Columbia.
Onto Columbia, yeah, that's cool.
It's like it's a really nice town now. It was a wonderful town. That's such a great privilege to be a part of.
It's a cool town because it was a cool town anyways, but they were open-minded enough to be like, yeah, we'll let a bunch of skaters come in. I don't think they understood what they were inviting in, but
but it happened 8 years. They let us come back.
Yeah, they just let us keep coming back.
We almost had to find a different campground every single year until I got to the final. Like Larry, there's another Larry, the guy who ran the storage unit on Puget Island,
where all your ramps were.
Yeah, that was where I was storing that. Then he eventually we were able to convince him to let us do the camping, and he even put a little shower setup or some sort of hose setup out there and a nice fire pit. Even with all the mayhem that the downhillers would bring, he was embracive of it. And it's just it took time.
Yeah, no, which is cool. So we'll let Judy. I guess we'll do an episode with Judy, kind of. But
I guess
get a little round about what kind of events happened at.
I think at the very least I get to talk a little bit about that, and because that's again falls in with the skate everything piece of it, which is so again, credit due. Judy gets this thing up and running. I'm helping in the background, key sponsor from the beginning, helping out as much as they can. Billy's really running the downhill race event. We're splitting up, and it was just once we got it going, and I feel like does it? Okay, we do have a slalom race the first year. We actually call out I did put the events on everything. Okay, this is great. The great way to tell it. But yeah, so the first one goes from just a push race to now becoming a downhill race and also a slalom race. So Skip is running the slalom end of this. Billy's doing the downhill. Addison's doing the push. I'm just helping out every way, getting sponsors in and using my contacts at that point. And then it's second year, I actually see up here, it's called Mystery Slalom, Tight Slalom, Slide Competition, Push Race, and Downhill Race. But that year, is the year that the mule kickers get introduced.
Okay, because I was like, because that was just the first one was just in the downhill.
Yeah, it's just classic downhill.
Right before Coffin Corner.
Yeah, just standard. And the way, and this has got to be Billy's story at some point to get into as well. But I'm sure. But basically, as far as I remember, second year, I think we had the skate bus at that point. I'm coming up, so I'm probably like wasted and not very helpful that year, honestly. But Billy decides that he wants to add a surprise to the race. And so he comes up with what ends up becoming called the mule kicker, which is, it's just kind of silly to describe now because of the mayhem it caused, but it's like, it's literally the, I think it's 2 4x8s. So it's like an 8x8 setup or maybe a 12x8, but it's like 8 feet to get to a curb height drop off.
Right.
So
on a downhill.
Yeah, so it's the ramp itself, all it is like literally rolling off a curb, but he throws it in that corner, in the line.
Yeah, it was a hard corner, and then, because I think, remember, right, you could go on either side, or you could hit the mule kicker.
I think...
Or off one side.
Yeah, you could at least go off one side. Might have technically been room on the other, but I don't think there was a real line that could have pulled it off.
Yeah, because you're coming into that turn and then hitting that.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's one of those, like, things that you first see it and everybody's like, oh, there's no way.
Yeah. And
then the first guy does it, or first person does it, hits it, and then it's like, oh, they did it. So then it was, everybody was hitting up. Well, not everybody, and they weren't all making it.
Yes. So one detail too is that Billy doesn't tell anybody.
Oh, this was...
He doesn't tell
after
anybody.
The practice, that's
we go in the middle of the night before the race to install this ramp.
Oh, dang.
So everyone wakes up to race the next morning. Surprise! Yeah, exactly.
Surprise! You might be able to go around it, but you're probably not going to be able to go going over it.
The amount of mayhem, because it's like, again, it's silly little ramp, but it is in the most unideal place ever, and the amount of carnage that ensued.
That was a lot.
It's like, people were figuring it out, but it was a lot of like foot fake, oh, I can roll over it, and then racing happens, and it's like people are full boring into it. And I think Katie Nielsen bailed and dislocated her shoulder.
Yeah, because that was like super sketchy, and then once you got your footing again, you had the turn. Yeah,
you had the final turn still. That is also sloped and gritty.
And a 90 degree.
Yeah, a 90 degree. Yeah, so that was year 2. Surprise ramp. And then I think year 3 was officially when, like, Judy is just, I mean, it's like we're working year round on this thing, but like Judy is like hurting all the cats. Like really, and I think year 3 was when she was like, she and I had the agreement that like, okay, I'll take over. And I think she was still super heavily involved, and she stayed involved throughout the years, but like faded out, didn't have to have as much ownership, year after year. But she still showed up, and she still put up with me for all of the mayhem. And basically what happened year after year is more events got introduced. I think maybe year 3, does it say up there, we do have border cross. Yep.
Okay.
So border cross. So year 3 is border cross.
So that was kind of like, that's when snowboarder cross was kind of being a thing.
Yeah, snowboarder cross technically has been around for decades.
Okay,
right. So it has actually been an Olympic sport for a while. But yeah, it's like, it's kind of funny because it's been on my mind too. Like this is a concept that could happen, but like not like I because when I finally decided I'm going to do something, it just happened. So it's like it wasn't that much on my radar, but it was like it was Dino. It was Dino that Dino Azuna, the Maryhill Rats.
Yeah.
He was the one who first brought that in, and it was, and I think there was a little bit of jealousy on my part, honestly, about that, and because like I'm a ramp builder, Like, I ride park, and like I could see some of these things, and I'm like, when this thing got built, I'm like, oh my God, we are going to destroy these ramps, and we're probably going to destroy some human beings in the process.
When those ramps were built, first time I walked up that, I was just like, this is insane.
Yeah, and the road that we had to work with, deep. It was just chunks. It was just chunks everywhere. It was garbage, but it happened.
It did happen.
Mind blown.
Yeah. Like the first person I was like watching, I was like, and that, especially the lower ramp,
mm-hmm.
and then you did like the air comp, they were launching off that.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. The first tabletop was minimal, but still it was enough to speed, and you were launching on it. And then second year we moved to the slalom hill, so it's straight down that hill, and that's where it got a lot better, because that launcher ramp, now you had enough speed to really carry and start getting big airs on it.
That was some craziness. That was.
So year 3, I'm probably like mostly running, or had started taking over a lot more, like maybe 50-50 with Judy, and then 4, 5, 6, 8 was like more and more driven me.
Yeah.
And that's where the JP madness just ensues. It's like, okay, we've surprised people with ramps in the downhill. We've come up with border cross. What else can we do? And it's like, I think the second year of border cross, Dino still ran it, but then I'm just like, no, like, I know how to build ramps, and this is actually something I've been dreaming for a long time, and I want to go even bigger. And so, it's classic me. It's just like, I cannot make a single thing just like be sustainable and break even, or it's just like, it's just got to keep sinking in. So I'm like getting the funding for the next event, like getting going out early and getting sponsors in place and getting people to sign up early, and spending all of that money on wood. Just going out and just buying as much wood as I can, and building bigger and bigger ramps to where we start doing, we move border cross up to the main hill with the races on.
Yeah.
And we start doing the like legit big air contest. And it got big.
That was ridiculous. I'm like, the first time, seeing the first couple guys launch off that thing, and I was still thinking like, that's insane. It was big, and they were launching way past the landing ramp.
Yeah.
And
oh my God, blowing the transition.
Yeah, you hit the landing ramp, and everybody wipes out on it anyway.
Oh my God.
It was.
It got good though. It is like, it's just one of those things. Like, the more it's out there, the better, and the bigger you can go. Yeah.
I mean, they're getting comfortable with it. And
I called out that it said mystery slalom on the second one here, but I didn't give due credit on like
what the mystery slalom was. So,
and this adds to the momentum. And again, it's like, these aren't my stories. This is like, I don't know that Skip went into this at all.
No, we didn't get
yes.
We ran out of time on that one.
So this is like, I mean, honestly, this is the best skate event that's ever existed, and I think that like, if I could get something going again, that's all I really care. Like, I mean, I'd love to do all the things again, but like, if we could just do the mystery slalom, I think eventually got called the Sidewalk Showdown, but first was mystery slalom, and I think it was just on the that hadn't repaved the road that became the slalom road yet. So we were doing the backside behind the restaurants for the slalom course, and I think that's where the first one was. And like, Skip like had a hose of water running down the street, and like kicker ramps, you'd have to like, so you're like dropping in on the slalom ramp and then hitting a couple cones, and then you're like having to hop on, you'll ride a ramp to hop onto a curb, and then like go around a cone and like ride through some, water running through the street, and like, you'd maybe ollie a thing or hippie jump, it's just like, just a random slalom course type thing. And then over the years, that one, as we moved over to the slalom hill, that one got to get higher speed and just so many more features and alternative routes. And that was one of those ones where it was like, when we started getting the street skaters out to the events, started crushing. Jamie Jacobson, and I say street, I mean like, non-longboarders. Shortboard riding type
skaters.
Yeah. God, I can't believe that Jamie Jacobson was such a part of Cat Lyman for years. Yeah, I mean, that legit skater. And we got a couple other like Bacon, Lifeblood type riders out there one of the years, I feel like. But yeah, so like it kept accelerating, and so at the end of it, we're at I think 8 events in 2.5 days.
It's a lot.
Like mentally, like I look like a madman. Oh. Like I'm running like I just like
it's hard enough to run one event.
Yeah. I don't know why
organizing in that many in one weekend.
Yeah, and so like multiple events are going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to orchestrate things. Like, I've got my crew captains all over. I mean, we were running at like 50 volunteers to get these events going. Like people own their thing. Like Skip did different slalom events over 2 of the days and something. And Push Race Addison had under control. And like, I got Ross involved for, Slide Jam, best. It was like, it became because of the border cross getting bigger, it was just like the border cross and the slide jam all moved into the main race course. And so we'd set up prior to the race day, we'd have the ramps on that course, and we'd do the border cross, we'd do the slide jam on the ramps, we'd do the big air contest, and then we would like move all the ramps out of the way and run the race course on it. And it was just, I don't know. I'm not a sane human being, I guess is the best way to
how you get all that. There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. And so that was, and I guess maybe just to tie it all back, is to say that I think it was the last year, second to last year, I realized that the date that we were running it on was actually Nino's birthday.
Oh.
And it was 10 years after that time that I went to Lansdowne. And we had the most beautiful border cross course, and there were vert quarter ramps on the side of the hill, and I'm getting to do a vert air gap between 2 ramps on the course. And I remembered back, and I'm like I actually started just bawling at one point. Like just it overwhelmed me emotionally, because I remember back at, I didn't dig into this, but with Nino we got, super into Sergio, and so we were doing tech sliding.
Tech sliding, yeah.
On one of the few hills we'd have to time it between street lights. Like 3 lanes going downhill. Yeah. So we do that, and I remember telling him out on that hill one day, I'm like, I want to put ramps on a hill like this. And
dude.
Yeah. So it's like,
you're like
10 years later, and I'm like, I fucking did it. And I had to call him up, and I'm just like, dude, happy birthday. Like, I cannot believe the momentum you created in my life. Like, all of this. And I made a point a lot of times when people met Nino, like, everything that you experience in Portland, this guy started that flywheel. Like, this guy is what made all of that, like, happen.
Right. It has to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And it was like,
I love that you asked in the beginning, actually, like, a person who pushed you, like.
Yeah. I mean, because there has to be that thing, something that started it.
Yeah.
And it starts.
And it wasn't the Chad Muska board and the street stuff and all of that.
Some dude that's a friend that was like, dude, let's go do this.
Yeah. Yeah, brought me into a community.
Yeah. And
showed me what that could mean, and then that became what I sought in life. And then I think my weird, like, quirky loving the longboards in the park and just wanting to do the, like, anchoring on, no, we're gonna get away from this world of longboarders and skateboarders. It's skate everything.
Skate everything.
frickin' skate, you frickin' skate.
Yeah.
And just hybrid people as much as possible. And you know, like, I'm so grateful that I got to see all these amazing skateboarders transition between both sides. Like I said, like I got to, because I embraced all the local brands, the hybrids occurred.
Yeah, right.
It was amazing. There's a lot of other kind of cool random events and stuff I got to do over the years. Could go on forever.
Right, there's a lot of random events that went on, and there was just a lot of. It's always really. It all comes down to. It was just fun.
Yeah,
we were just out having fun.
Yeah, constantly.
I'm like, even with the chaos of putting on all these different events.
Yeah,
it was still fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think that's the reality. You know, if like there's any moral to this, is just like, I mean, life can be rough. Like, and I mean, I think that I definitely had a privileged youth, or like I didn't struggle as a child. You know, my father's a veterinarian. He made an okay income. Like, wasn't like it was like real rough on me or anything. But like when I got into adulthood, I was on my own, and I know what it's like to not be able to pay my bills and to choose food versus rent and things like that. And it's like, it gets rough, but it's like, you know, like finding the tricks, finding the ways to do the things that you love to keep, you know, life is about enjoying the time that you have.
Yeah.
And I feel like skateboarders exemplify that so incredibly well. And that's why we're all tied together. We're all weird and effed up in some way.
Right? Well, as far as anybody's, a skateboard's a toy.
Yeah.
And we're still, as adults, playing with toys.
I mean, yeah.
Well, what's wrong with that? Right?
Yeah. I mean, just trying to keep our youth.
Those toys can hurt us.
Yes, they can.
But it's kind of, it's just bringing all these memories back. It's like, I mean, it doesn't mean that we're not going to continue to make new ones, but it's like that time was just, there was just so much going on.
Yeah.
And being a part of it, a part of like pushing what we can do, and especially with skating everything. It's like, doesn't matter what it is, you try to skate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Just so many memories flash. God, yeah. Thank you for doing this. Like,
it's so much fun, because it's like, it's been a long time since we've talked.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since, you know, a lot of these different people that I will, you know, reach out to, and we'll do these. It's like, and it's just bringing all these memories back, which is what the whole idea of this podcast is. It's like, it's to just bring all these memories back that we have sitting in the back of our head that we've kind of forgot about, that to share, because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like it's like kind of tough, you know, like trying to. I feel like I've left out so much, and so many people to thank.
Yeah.
You know, like, honestly, I'm like sitting here looking at you, and I'm like, the amount of gear that you gave to all the events, to all the things I did, to helping sponsor the skate bus, like,
right.
You know, year after year, I'd come to you for more money so that I could go lose it somehow.
But it's also like one of those things, like, it was because it was the industry that we all loved.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll throw some money there. I got a little bit. I've never had a lot, but I was like, I have a little bit of an extra here, or throw decks out for giveaways or whatever it takes to bring people in to just go have fun.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I think it's probably, I don't know if, where do we, a good endings point? Well, actually, like, before we, like, you went from there, you went into the tech, you know, I guess tell everybody kind of what you're doing now. I mean, that's kind of like it's part of the process, like where we started and where we're at, and it's like you have to think about, if I didn't do this, would I be here?
Yeah. It is kind of crazy, and kind of we'll use this as the exit out then, I guess. But I'll say that, like, in the end of it, it was as amazing as it was. There was a certain point where, I joke and I'm like, well, I made like whatever, 12, 14 bucks an hour salary for, the entirety of my 20s.
Yeah.
And I had no college degree, and I'd really done the things I wanted to do, and I wanted it to carry on, but like I had figured out how to drain myself in every possible way. And I every conversation I had with skateboarding, I kind of gotten to a point in my life, and I realized, like, I don't know how to talk about anything else. And not only that, I don't have the time to talk about anything else, because everything. And so, I eventually, like, the way that I looked at it when I was kind of exiting was I was shitting where I ate. And so at some point it was like, what I love most in life was also what I had to do to survive.
Yeah.
And that eventually was just, and I feel like maybe I was seeing the writing on the wall, but it was right as the industry really was starting to decline.
Yeah.
And, I felt accomplished in the fact that I think I had finally gotten the business, like, break even in the black. 5-6 years later.
Right. As things are.
Yeah, exactly. And so I had a manager for the shop that could take over. Jordan's was amazing. Gave it a whole nother, like, couple more years of a really, cool scene, cool influence. Definitely had all the ethos and then some of what, I brought to it. And I just, like, literally, we talked all the portfolio, the whole thing. I just shut it down. I just, like, I did a event. And I took the little bit of money out of bank account. I went off. There was a border cross event in Australia that I, like, got a ticket, went out there. I was so broke out there for a month, and it was terrifying. I did not realize that, like, a rack of beer was going to cost $50, the cheapest beer there. So it's like, first day I land, and I'm, like, giving my host a rack of beer, and I'm like, oh, that was all of my unemployment. Like, so basically the story kind of ends on just like, I'm ready to move on and try something different. I want to find more space in my life. And so I start just kind of setting things down. And so, I take the trip to Australia. I tell my the financer behind the business, like, hey, I want an out. I had never made any money to have any equity in the business. So it's just like, hey, it's at least break even, and this guy's willing to take over. So he let me out. But again, JP knows how to play through he's like, okay, cool. Bye. Like, basically, like, no, like, I'm trying to give him notice. Yeah. And he's just like, you don't have to show up tomorrow now.
Gone.
I was just like, oh, okay. And then I, like, looked into the rules for unemployment, and I'm like, oh, that qualifies me for unemployment. So I can get the 25% of the $12 as unemployment, and that's what motivates me to go to Australia. I'm like, I got some money to work with. As I tie the pieces together now, I remember this. So yes, I did the, like, last Cat Diamond event. Or no, it wasn't the last one, but I did one, and then I think there was one after that. I may have that wrong, but yeah, I did an event, closed things down with broke things with Rip City, and then got on my motorcycle with a duffel bag, drove down to Southern California, and then flew from LA out to Australia for a month. And
so you actually had some connections in Australia then?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's good. You're just like, I'm just gonna go. I know there's an event there. I'm just gonna go.
No. Because because of my connections, all the rest of that, it was like, no, there's a border cross happening out here. You should come be a part of this. And so it's like there was, like, interest to get me out there. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do this. And then Adam Yates, my Yacht Longboarding, the most gracious host ever let me just like sleep in his home for a month but yeah, so basically I did that, went out to Australia, came back, and interesting journey making my way back home. But basically when I get back to Portland, I go to all the roommates. I'm like, our lease is up in a month and a half or 2 months or something like that. And I'm like, I'm not going to sign it. I've been the primary on it. Like,
yeah.
So it's like, it was Stop Rip City, stop the events, like shut down the skate home. And then I part of the weird journey home from California is that I found like a surf skate commune farm. Yeah. It was like a sustainable farm that was, I mean, it was this very weird property, but we had like beachfront access, and we had a skate park, and I rented out a greenhouse and grew my own food and built stuff from salvage material.
I vaguely remember seeing, you guys were some pictures about the green. Did Jed go down and visit you or something?
I was definitely posting on Instagram like stuff I was putting out back then. I remember seeing
about the greenhouse that you lived in.
Yeah, and people would pass through on occasion and whatnot. Okay. And it's the orchid. The orchid is its own. It's probably got its own Instagram still. That was through connections through Pal Peralta Skateboards. My sales rep there. Super rad guy, used to take me to pools whenever I came to town. But he was like, oh yeah, come be a part of our fucking weird ass commune. So I did that, and ended up doing some like consultant work for Mir Skate, and just kind of did gigs until I completely ran out of money. Tried trimming weed for a while. That kind of like blew up on me, and all the time I was just like putting in applications, trying to get into. I was like, it had always been kind of in the back of my head. Like I built these forums, built these like retail shops. Stuff. Like I'm like, I know enough. Like I should be able to get a job. Like I really didn't, but I put in probably like 100 applications. Didn't get a single company to reach out to me until one did, and I made it through the interview cycle. They freaking hired me as like a tech support guy. It's like, oh, you know how to open up the debug console in a browser? Cool, that's good enough. No one else knows how to use our technology anyway, so any other prior skills aren't needed. So that was the first company that brought me in.
Oh, nice.
And then yeah, that's been the next decade. That was the 30s. My 30s was just I kind of worked my way up through that company and had so many. It was like it was also something that like I remember when I first landed there, I was like, oh, I've got like kind of like a real big person job, but like it doesn't feel corporate-y and stodgy and all that. It was like the culture was cool. It felt like leaders in the tech industry were really like wanted community as well. Like I felt and I really liked the people I worked with. So I actually felt like I had a very natural transition of like, oh, this isn't that big of a culture shock for me. And so I was really, really inspired by that. And so, yeah, I kind of just dug in, and I worked the crazy hours and, proved myself and kind of have just ridden doing the tech startup train since then. And nowadays, I was mentioning that I just took a summer off, which was the first time. Well, actually, no, sorry. I got laid off last summer, had that summer off because of that. Thank you, Okta. That was a great layoff. Severance, things like that. Things I could never imagine is like, oh, you're going to pay me for 4 months of the tech salary?
Paid to take the summer off?
Yeah, exactly. So I got to enjoy that. And then I joined actually another like super small tech company leadership position and lasted maybe 8 months with them, and was just like, this is mayhem. Can't handle it. My partner had left her crazy job, and we were like, we could actually take a summer off together. Like actually like do it. So we spent this last summer in that camper van that I've had since for 6 years now. So it's again just fully hand built on the inside.
It's an upgrade from the skate bus.
Yeah, and the pickup truck I lived in on the farm, and and so I've kind of I've learned. I feel like I've learned an interesting happy balance between the world of like everything is that thing you love, and like working hard to, you know, actually have a real income to like, well, I don't even need that. You know, like I know what it's like to live barely feeding myself. And so now I'm finding a balance, and like I work, I'm now working as a contractor. And so I'm working, you know, I think flashed, but working like, you know, 20, 30 hours a week, and trying to just keep the opportunities to skate, keep the opportunities to go camp, mountain bike, kind of just try and do all the toys. So I expanded my language beyond skateboarding to back to all the other sports I used to do.
Perfect. It's a good, like, make sure this thing's still running. I don't know if it is running or not.
Well, in either case, I feel like this is,
this was, we covered a lot.
Yeah.
We covered a lot.
My brain hurts.
Great. It's like, there's so much more that we didn't get to.
Yeah.
Which is, doesn't mean there can't be another part two.
Yeah. I really hope that you keep doing these. I can't wait to see the stories. I've given you a lot of good names and seeded, you know, things.
Right.
Like, and there's so many more. But yeah, like it's really cool to have experienced, had to ride that wave with you, Larry. Like it really, really was. And you know, I know that's not the intent of this, but like just to thank you for like your participation in this, and your you know, like you built an awesome brand, you inspired kids across the world. Like it's pretty cool to have been a part of that with you.
Well, thanks, because it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with all the different aspects of kind of what went on in that, I was just happy to be part of it.
Yeah,
it was just fun.
Well, maybe this inspires another generation of some, you know, people who get that, ride the next wave.
Ride the next wave, right? Well, like, what is that thing that drives you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the right people, right time.
Yeah, right. Oh, I don't know if it just shut up or not. That's it. Call it a night.
Oh man.
Woo!